Okay.
Gee whiz, here we go. Episode 136. We've just watched I just had a look at Shohei Ohtani, the unicorn, they call him. The unicorn, because he's a mythological creature. He just nearly hit a home run against the hapless Chinese. And the Japanese are up 5-0 in the WBC Classic. I'm sure all of you Australians are loving the WBC Classic. You wouldn't believe this, Tone, but Australia beat Korea 8-7 in a massive upset on the world stage of baseball.
Nice.
How do you feel about that?
That's very, very, very good. Yes, love it. Must have been sensational to watch. I didn't see it, but
Korea are ranked probably top 6 in the world. Australia is just outside that. So in a 50-50 game, we didn't think we were a chance. And we came back from twice being down. So I'm sure all you Australians are just like, oh, the WBC. I better take time off work to watch that because I'm sure it's live back in Australia.
Look, Pezza, unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. So you're saying that Korea are in the top 6 and Australia
I think they're ranked fifth in the world, yeah.
So it was like 5th versus 7th.
America are actually ranked 1, Japan are ranked 2, Korea about 6, and then we've got a couple of South American teams in between. I think Australia are currently ranked 8th, but, it falls away pretty quick, but pretty huge.
A lot of Aussie players like Smiths, Browns, Willows.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
Olivers.
In the Australian team, Olivers, all that sort of Browns.
Actually, I think I know you're from Melbourne, right, Tone? Is that right, Taz?
Yeah, I'm from Melbourne, sunny Melbourne.
The Melbourne Aces, they got a good representation tonight. I think there was 4 Melbourne Aces playing. So
nice. Well, just around the corner from me are the Moorabbin Panthers.
There you go.
So I don't know what league they play in. No one does.
Episode 136, we welcome the great man, the worldwide, Mr. Worldwide himself, the conductor. How you going, Marto?
G'day, guys. How are we going?
You're pretty happy tonight. You had a super boost on the Rabbitohs and the Panthers to score 10 points each.
Yes. Bet365 keeps throwing up these super boosts. They boost you from $1.30 to $2, so take that every time.
Even money, beautiful. Evil money, I like it. And, of course, we welcome back the Greek freak, the man himself, a.k.a. Chris Judd, 3 votes. Saved us again last week from total embarrassment. Welcome back, Freaky.
Thank you. It's always your pleasure to have me on the show, and I always feel pleasured to be on the show.
Tone, we were talking a little bit about before, but it's great that Taz has thrown out 2 favourites in a row. Hopefully tonight, number 3.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
They're always hard to find at top of the market, Marto.
They're winning.
Look, you're right. No, I will never, ever disagree, with a bus driver. Never.
I'm pretty sure you're hanging shit on my $1.75 winner on Wednesday in the picket.
Yeah, but hang on. There's a little bit of a difference here, Pezza.
Oh, really?
Off camera,
yeah.
I will call it straight. On camera, I will never, ever try to humiliate you.
Marto,
right?
it actually
never.
tipped it at 250. I did. And
I tipped it at 250. So when I tip mine at 450, and it's a market mover, because there's a mole within the 3 of us, and then Barney gets on, he loves it, and then all of a sudden it's...
Barney loves a market mover on Ladbrokes.
And then I call the pre-race scratching. I knew there was going to be a scratching, and I told you that. So I told you all to get on early, but you know what? Oh, he tipped the fucking favourite. He tipped the favourite.
No, going for 3 in a row.
Sorry, it wasn't $1.75. Still only paid $2.90.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It was an easy watch. And we welcome the great man. Now, it's not all about Tone. It's not all about Taz. It's not all about Marto. It's not all about Pezza. Oh, hang on. No, I got that wrong. It's all about Tone and it's all about Taz.
No,
we have fodder in this group, mate.
Yeah, we're shadows in their great stature.
We're like that flower that gives cows gas. We're nothing. We don't even rate in this universe.
The deadly nightshade that springs up after a man is hanged.
Listen to him. Listen, Tone, no, let him go, Tone. Let him go. Let him keep talking. Let them keep telling us how they're nothing. Because
Marto, how long did Tone and Taz talk for before we got a word?
Couldn't get a word in. We got the whole 40 minutes in, and we had to cut down and come back.
10 minutes and and
then they're off.
Oh, mate, fair income. It was like watching Mats Verlander and Stefan Edberg on the clay in France and Roland Garros. there was like 102 shots fired. Like it was just back and forth, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Taz is trying to shut up right now, but he wants to get a word in.
Yeah,
It's
we
just-
welcome the
you can
great
see it.
man.
It's right
Now,
there.
Tone, how you going, mate? You all right?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Set, ready. Yes. Gave everybody a 20-1 winner last week, you know, as I do. Of course.
Which
I
one was that,
tried to
Tone?
go-
Tone, what was it called?
The communist.
The communist big
Thanks,
boy.
Pezza. I was going to ask him because remember when they lose, he forgets how quickly he forgets them. But when who wrote it, Tone?
Oh,
Zach Purton.
Oh, notice that. Oh,
Straight
how good
in.
is he?
Oh,
Eh?
Well done.
Oh,
well
you've got a
done.
good memory when they win, Tone.
That's
Pity they
right.
only win once every 33.
hey,
but
Marto,
that's
how good
okay.
was Zach Purton riding the Group
Oh.
1 double last week?
It took him a few to get into it, but once he did, oh
gee.
my God. He wins the Guineas when Bowman thought he had it won on that New Zealand one.
Oh,
He's got 50 to go. Bowman's in front. He's giggling to himself. I got this. And Zach
Oh.
Purton says, hey, look out, buddy. Here I come.
I don't think I've ever seen this. Is like
Oh.
Tone back in the day at that nightclub that we're not allowed to mention back in Launceston.
Talking-
I've
he's
never
talking
seen
good name.
somebody lower in the saddle than Zach Purton when
Oh.
he
It's-
is
yeah.
basically planking.
He's flat with the horse.
He's flat with the horse. It's amazing to watch. And Amatorius, one of Taz's favourite horses, jockeys never count right, always miss, always runs a slashing fourth, third, second, never gets there. And there's Zach just laying down like Superman, and Artorius blouses him. It was amazing to watch.
If
It was great.
if Zach wasn't riding so successfully in Hong Kong, you wouldn't even know who he was. That's all I'm
Oh.
going to say. That's
Mate,
all.
I used to follow him when he was bloody running around Sunshine Coast, mate, back in the day. So don't worry about it. I know
Are
where
you
he's
sure?
Yes.
Are you
He was a
sure he
Premier
did?
jockey out here
He
before
was
went over
he
there.
was a Queensland Premiership jockey, mate. We sort of know, mate. But it's amazing that he can actually count, and he counted perfectly.
Yep.
If you're on a parody,
yeah,
you would have been at the queue waiting to collect because, as Marto said, with 150 to go, there was nothing beating that Kiwi horse until the
Big
the
news
Freedman
with Zach
flash.
too. One of my favourites is coming out for the Australian Derby, Sharp and Smart.
What's
And
it called,
Zach
Marto?
Purton is It's called Sharp and Smart.
Oh, are you guys still
Zach
going?
Purton has been booked to ride the other Kiwi in the race at $12.
Oh,
So I'm a little worried about Sharp and Smart in the Australian Derby now because Zach Burton's jumped on the other Kiwi.
right. Now, talking about Tone back in the day, didn't mind jumping on a Kiwi or two. The communist wins at 16 skins, but Banana Queen, big boy, Jesus.
Yeah,
Banana
well, I
Queen.
think Tyler had a bit of a crack, but he couldn't get anything out of it. It's just an absolute oxygen band. It's nothing.
Oh.
It's absolutely nothing. And Marto and I, like we said, the lay of the day was Roots because that is an absolute cat. That thing never
Roots.
wins.
Yes.
But I thought Banana Queen would
Marto
be
called
champ.
it. He said, can't
Yes.
win.
Yeah.
Can't win because
that's
every
what
book he had it as the best of the day.
Yeah, best of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Taz went out on a limb and he tipped something at about $3 and it came into about $2.60 and won pretty well.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
sorry that I tipped it at $4.50. Sorry that I got on. Sorry that I showed you the ticket as well. Sorry that even with deductions, I still got more than what it started SP. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm so successful. I'm sorry that I'm holding up the team. What else can I be sorry for? I'm sorry that I almost fell asleep when you guys were talking about Zach Purton as well.
How good was he? How good was Zach though? Fair income. Oh,
And he's
mate.
coming back.
Oh, hang on a tick. Wake me up. Oh, yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
And again, Mr. Worldwide has
God.
absolutely slaughtered another horse where he's
We've
tipped.
slaughtered two of them now. We've slaughtered Norwegian Bliss. We've slaughtered
Sky
Colmoore,
Command.
Both of them put in the worst
Super
runs they've
Pursuit.
ever had in the
Don't forget Super Pursuit as well.
Oh,
No, that was a good. It was a good tip, Marto. I remember it was a good tip because remember how you said, "Watch me pull it up, watch me pull it up," and you did.
Yeah.
You pulled it right up, and you said,
and look what's happened.
"Well,
I
we-
just want to do a bit of
look,
the clip of Tony.
Skycommand wasn't quick out of the gates, tagged on and just never pushed. It was a run around, and unfortunately, we just don't know when they're going for those sort of runs.
I just want to do a bit of a clip of Tony here. The only thing worried me about my tip last week, one go award, was Daniel Moore. And I told everybody who watched the show last week, the only thing that can stop us and this horse is Daniel Moore. And he didn't watch the show.
You're blaming the jockey.
He didn't watch the show. And I told him, with this horse, you have to give it a whack like Jakey Toroke in Adelaide. You're going to give it one right down its hind. And he did it with about 150 to go, and it screams home and comes 6, but misses, been beaten half a length. Now, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when you tip them around 30 skins, Taz. You know, you probably don't realise that stratosphere of tipping. But,
yeah, right.
You know, you like to tip something
about
about 360 with the scratching comes into about even money. But me at home, we go outside the box trying to look at value for the Poultry Familiar.
And you know what? Well done, because you continue to tip value that does not win. So that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, because you can't eat value when it finishes nowhere.
I'll let you say. Yeah.
Remember I talked about how Daniel Moore was 0-44 in his last 44 starts at Flemington. Well, he's now 0 from 48. He had 4 rides last week for 0 results. So he fucked.
Yes, put him in the bin, mate. Sack him.
Yeah, mate. He's been riding like a pig.
Yeah, he has.
Let's deflect. Hang on, Pezza. How did you go? Oh, no good. Let's deflect. Let's deflect that I went no good. Let's blame the jockey. Let's say that he's 0 from 73. Let's just say that maybe
who was that horse that he rides pretty well?
Deflect.
He used to ride that horse pretty well. Won a couple of Group 1s. Always wins it. Daniel Moore is a Caulfield job, and now Caulfield's not in operation. Well, obviously, he's been found out. But
it's a little bit long.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I reckon he rides a winner this weekend.
One more, Jack. Florio Flipper sneaking through the inside. Impossible Action, Mike Khalifa to the outer. Lacrima's picking up speed nearer, then Black Syrah extra time. Struck by, edging out 4 off the right.
Tough.
Accelerates now, Lacrima. Impossible Action, one more, Jack. Mike Khalifa. They're starting to bridge the gap. Struck by, normally finds in this situation. He's finding again. Lacrima, Impossible Action. Mike Khalifa struck by. He's strong. He's tough, this boy, and he wins again. Struck by.
Tazzy.
Well done, Tazzy. Well done,
Thanks, Pezza. I know you chop me down. I know you hang shit on me, but I know deep down you appreciate when I tip winners. So thank you.
No, it was a good one, and I love the caller. Like, I don't really rate the Adelaide caller that much. What if his name is? I didn't mind. Anyway, he knew all struck by. He usually finds the situation, and he did. So it was
I reckon
great.
he probably had a penny on it too.
Sounded that way, didn't it?
Talk about Adelaide, and we're going into dangerous territory, Tony, because it was a bit like you and me last night on the beers at the urinal. You know, couldn't believe when you rolled out your long schlong and it hit the water at the bottom. Anyway, you had to put both hands up to brace yourself because you were tipping forward like an excavator going down a hill. But anyway, mate, we're going to the Chocky Wheel State. We're going to the great man himself, Pezz. Adelaide Cup.
Yes, you are. It is Monday, and it looks like a nice big fun day. I'm not sure if the wheel's going to be operational because it probably needs to be lubed up if it's going to go 2 and 3 days. But it's a good race. I know last year we did a similar type thing, and if I recall correctly, Tone and Jamie Carr coupled up and got us a winner. So
straight to the bar, Jamie.
There's a couple of decent sort of horses, a couple that have been thereabouts, and a few that have had quite a few chances. But I do like a couple myself.
Marto,
so I'll leave it to you.
Marto loves the top. He loves Persane, probably the class horse of the field. Marto.
I think so too. I think Persane, I think he's been set for this race. And look, Jamie Carr always goes over to the Adelaide Carnival, and she comes home with between 4 and 6 winners. And I think this could be one of them. She's there for the Adelaide Cup. Person's been set for it. Mar Eustace ready to go. And wasn't a bad run at the Valley. It's just the Valley doesn't suit him.
Mar Eustace on fire.
3,200 at Wolfettville, and Person's ready.
He's also got Grand Promenade, and it was a spin a couple of weeks back, and admittedly, it started favourite. It was backed, and I think my comment on the summary of the day's racing was could be there for this race here. So
Yeah.
don't write off Grand Promenade, because I think over the 3,200, it's going to be very, very prominent.
For sure.
And
But you
it's
haven't
going to
even-
be
Taz,
there.
it's not even your tip.
No, it's not. But I think it's going to be prominent.
Oh.
My tip, I've gone for value, because I can't tip another favourite, can I? Because you'd bloody take the piss. And Grand Promenade is favourite. So I knew where you were coming. I'm not stupid. Eh? There's one down the bottom there as well, Wheels. But, my tip is True Marvel.
Yeah,
True
Wheels
and
is
I'm
your,
on-
it was a slashing third, I remember, a few weeks, and it's won 2 in a row. So
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, my tip in the race is True Marvel. Sydney horse does get back, should stay all day. I'm on at 18. Stables M Smith. Don't know too much about him.
Stables on fire, absolutely on fire. Yeah.
That's a positive. But he does. I know he doesn't mind travelling with his horses.
Yep.
But that said, I think it's a good chance.
It is.
I'm
Especially
on
with a
it.
bit of rain over there.
I'm on at 18 to 1. I can tell you that, and it's currently in at 12s. I've taken a little double with Steel City in the Blue Diamond. In the Golden Slipper. In the Golden Slipper to run a place. I've got $5 a place there. Admittedly, I think it's got to win this weekend to get in the race. But I've taken 5s into 18, 90 to 1, just as a little bit of money to throw away in the bin.
Bit of fun.
But yeah,
that's
me.
You found one down the bottom here, mate. Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel, yeah. Well, I'm not really into the Colin Creed state. You know, they're all dodgy over there, like up in Queensland. So I don't know a lot about what goes on over there. Wagon Wheel, well, you know, it's an omen bet, isn't it? Been eating wagon wheels since I was a kid. So there you go. That's my tip.
Perfect.
But I do like the
Pezz is on a picker. I tipped it on Lord Setzer Cup Day. Tone's neck of the woods, of course. And Aurora Symphony mapped perfectly, had the best run of the race, and was strong at the end, strong at the finish. So I think Aurora Symphony's better than last year. When I went to the Adelaide Cup, it didn't really. It was a bit plain, but I think Aurora Symphony's flying. So I think it's going to be bigger and better.
Don't we, Pezza?
Yes, we do love a Simon White horse, mate. We do. We do. There's something in those dunes.
There definitely is.
Yeah. So anyway, Adelaide Cup Monday, huge.
Adelaide Cup Day, so the only one who cares about it is Taz. We don't give a shit, really.
Really?
We're just throwing some numbers up.
Yeah. The only time I gave a shit was when Surprise Baby won. I had about 24,000 of doubles in the Adelaide Cup going into the Melbourne Cup.
I fully agree, and I fully
because I won't be having a bet.
Yeah, no, you won't. But I'm sure you'll be throwing out tips there. But anyway, that's enough. We won't talk about that, will we? No, we won't talk about that because follow his tips. Follow his tips. He'll throw something out.
I'm not sure what happened there, Marto, but the teleprompter got me. Pavilion Club, but I think it's Pappilion Club. Race 3, number 7 at Flemington. You're going to Melbourne, big boy.
That's right. Yeah, we're jumping up to Melbourne because I really like this one. Pappilion Club. It was an unlucky run last start. Got caught 3 wide, no cover, and still had the audacity to run on and attack the line and run third. I think the 1600 is what she's screaming out for. Being a Toronado, she's going to step up in distance.
Right.
And the dry track, she loves it when they fly. And give her another go, crack. Flemington over 1600. I think this is well and truly $7.
You had me at the word audacity. Pappilion Club Tone. What do you reckon?
Like Damien Lane, got to be a chance. Like the price. Yep.
Like
good, definitely.
Yeah, a bit long for you, Tassie. You know,
Scott, no, all I'm going to say is Sky Command.
Oh no! Don't poison him already. Don't
I'm not trying to poison him.
Talking, I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, I could be talking for 2 days if he says that. If it keeps him away.
I just want to mention too, Marto. Sorry, down the bottom we've got a name there by Avril, and I'll explain that to you a little bit later. It'll all come very clear.
Right.
Avril. Anyway, well, nobody really cares about Marto. Nobody cares about Pezz. Everybody cares about Tone, of course, because they're worried. You know, it's like respect the elderly, and you know, probably World Dementia Day, but nobody remembers.
It was actually International Women's Day yesterday. How did you go yesterday, Tone?
Oh,
Tone, you know, yesterday was actually International Women's Day.
Oh, yes.
So did you do the right thing? Did you look after the ladies in the house?
Oh, yeah. I bought chocolates and flowers and that. We've got White Day as well this month as well. So it cost you a fortune.
Nice.
we were on the beers yesterday, Tony. You were respecting a lot of the ladies walking past our vicinity.
Yes. Saying hello to all the little darlings, yes.
Mhm.
And Tone, with the ladies in your life and the ones that you were respecting last night, I mean, it's open class, obviously. No weight restrictions or anything like that. No age or weight restrictions. Is that right? The way you like to look at your form?
No, he's
Open
very
class?
particular.
He is.
Yeah.
Does he have
a special set standard is in place?
So,
yes.
So do you have a rule like one that someone I know used to have once? Nothing older than your mother and nothing younger than your daughter?
I don't know about that.
Is that the rule that you used to have, Tone? When you had that wandering eye? Nothing older than your mother? Nothing younger? Oh, dear.
That's very interesting, Taz. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, a friend of mine once told me that.
Tony, his favourite phrase yesterday, you know what it was?
Yeehaw.
Out of 10, I'd give her 1.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, Tone. Oh, Tone.
And talking
you
about
could have
out
at
of
least
10,
said 2.
Out of 10, I'd give her 1. Let's go. Race. Oh, hang on. Jeez, what's Pezz done?
I don't know, but you haven't got it right, Pezza. It's in Adelaide.
What race is it?
Race 8, number 7, Pezza.
Thank you.
And it does lead in perfectly from the Tone theme because it's called Lake Titicaca. And Tone, when I put this one up in the chat, the first thing Tone said was, "Everyone loves a little titty." Well, they do, but they don't like some caca, do they? So, look, this horse, lightly raced 4-year-old mare, was freshened up, had a couple of trials, came back over, I think it was 1,200, and really jumped, dictated, and sort of tired in the end. It's won over 1,700. I don't think the step up to, what is it, about 1,300 is going to be a problem. I think it's primed to win. I think it's just going to jump. It's going to lead. It's going to dictate. It's probably going to start about $3.30.
It's a bit like Zach Purton here, Marto.
So if you can get on at $4.50, grab it now. I actually grabbed $4.80. I think this is the up and comer in this field. I love the Todd Parnell booking. I also love a Will Clarkin horse. Great combination.
Yeah, and
get on.
Talking about our quaddie
make it
special guest.
Make it favourite.
Actually, really good mates with Will Clarkin's nephew, so we're going to get a bit of mail, so we might be able to ask you about Lake Titicaca.
It would be nice too.
Marto, can you explain what's that underneath the 450? It's like a yellow. It says FAV. I'm not sure what that means.
Favourites again.
Oh, favourite again. Wow.
Sorry, is that what it stands for?
I don't know.
FAV. Oh.
Wow. That reminds me of last night, a bit of a story about Tone. You know how he's always like a teacher. You know, teachers, they never turn off. You know, they're just always there. They're always trying to do the right thing. Anyway, there was a girl last night. She had a Sesame Street t-shirt on with the, you know, Count Dracula, you know, the Count. So Tone was quite funny. So he called her over. We're having a bit of a feed of chicken and whatever, using our hands. And he's like, "Oh, you like Count Dracula, the Count?" And then she's like, "Yes." And he goes, "Oh, repeat after me. 1 booby. 2."
He had a problem, you know, like that's yes, his special needs.
Is that what happened, Tone?
So you're denying it now, are you?
Tone, tell us the truth. Did it happen or not?
1 booby.
He's like the bloke who went fishing and caught a fish this big, and by the time he got home, it was this big.
Oh,
you know, like totally.
So Tone,
this bloke here is the. I don't know anybody who exaggerates more than him, because he is Mr. Exaggerator.
Honestly,
Tone, let me ask you something. Tone, I just want to know. I really want to know, which part of it did he exaggerate? That there were 2 boobies?
It was the
The
accent.
whole lot
Yeah.
is
The
exaggerated.
accent. That was what
happened.
really
Or was it maybe the hand size? Maybe you were going like this tone or like this instead. I don't know. Is that what he's exaggerated?
He's totally exaggerating about everything.
Oh,
Everything. The whole story didn't exist, mate. It was a mirage.
Hey, did you at least stick your tongue in and give
Oh,
did you give Pezza a wet willy? When
you
you
need
guys are on
help.
the piss together,
Let
when
me
you guys are on the
pause,
piss
please.
together,
You need
does he
help.
get emotional? Pezza, does he get
Honestly.
emotional?
Woodsy, there's
I'm
Jeffrey
going to go
Dahmer.
and consider in a minute because this is just Carly. Come on.
Tone,
Get on
the
the
chieftain.
bloody show. Come on.
He
Marto's
is.
dying
Alan.
over here.
Yeah, he's loading up with quaddie.
Hey, Marto,
Bloody
how
right.
funny yesterday when Lukey Mullen was in the Telegram group chat of yours and he goes, any tips, boys? And then Marto's like, what, you need more?
Yeah, you need more. You've had 14 units today, mate. That's your profit. I mean, there you go.
Good on you, Willow. Good on you, Marto. The boys, I miss the boys.
It's nice to see him in there. Hey, good on your
The
twins.
Prez,
Come
we
back
say
to-
goodbye.
There's the man.
Yeah, what a legend.
Say goodbye to the Prez. Bye-bye.
Yep. Sadly.
Now, let me set this one up. We've got a superstar in and he's travelled the world. Let me just bring it up. Here we go. There he is. What a fucking legend this bloke is.
Look at this.
Tommy Hanlon. Here we go. The Hannahs. We call him Avril because Avril Lavigne, skater boy, he actually built this skate pole in Bali. He built it for the kids, for the locals. What a fucking legend.
Absolutely.
So it's great to have Tommy Hanlon, Hannahs, as in Avril, as in skater boy. You know, what a fucking dude, mate. Seriously. If I had a body like that, Tone, I wouldn't fucking teach with a T-shirt on, I'll tell you that.
Pezza, you do. You do have a body like that. You like to cover it up.
I'm a bit jealous of, Tommy, because he's got mates that are in the know and he knows Marto, of course, and he's a buddy.
Well, that's a good start, isn't it?
He's
got mates that he's got mates that in the know and he knows Marto.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, is that like a contradiction or what?
Well, obviously you think it is.
Well, I don't know. I'm just asking you. You're the one talking. I'm just asking the questions.
One booby.
no, look, boys, I can tell you firsthand, Tommy's a top bloke, and when he does have mail, he passes it on, and it's usually top notch.
Yeah, and he gets a bit of Clark and mail because he's best mates with Will's nephew. So he's actually ringing Josh for us about the Adelaide Cup, but Will's doesn't have a runner in the Cup this year. So anyway, we should be able to maybe ask him about Lake Titicaca. Anyway, Taz, you're getting us away again, third week in a row. You haven't missed. Well done.
I am, and I'm going. And again, perfect segue into this because what was it? Say it for me, Pezza. One
movie.
Oh, otherwise referred to as Hooters. So we've gone with one Hooter.
Well, actually, you're being a bit selfish here in your leg of the quaddie, I think. But anyway,
am I?
Yeah, you're being quite selfish. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, I've got Hooters in only because I know it's one booby famous for Tone.
Look, you put it in because I've backed it before.
Yeah, well,
that's right. Yes,
I have. Yeah, I put it in because you backed it.
Almost everything in this race as well.
Yeah, because you backed everything. But you're right. Look,
at one time or another, yes.
Its form third up is unbeaten, so it's 2 from 2.
Yep.
Steps up to the right distance. Could have stayed in Sydney, but looks like it's staying in Melbourne. Emissary, whilst it hasn't won second up, I just think that it's a huge chance. Right, you are. When you've got a picket fence, it's too good. And Young Weather is ready to show its best whilst it gets over the distance. So that is me. 1, 5, 7, and 9. Thank you.
That's what happens when it's quite funny that Noble Heights actually Marto was sort of tipping this as an Adelaide Smoky, but looks like it's going to stay here.
No, they didn't take him over, eh?
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised with that, to be honest.
Yeah, interesting.
But Pezz, Tone, because I've been so selfish, which one should I have gone one out?
Oh, it's easy. The favourite.
Bow and declare, right?
Right, you are. Just wins.
Yeah.
Just wins?
Bow and declare. I wouldn't back that with stolen money.
I'll tell you what, Bow and Declare's run was
get
good.
on.
What?
Get on.
Bow and declare, they've shortened his runs up, mate. Danny O'Brien has run him over shorter trips, and he's born again.
I look, Marto. I that was the one
Yeah.
that I was contemplating putting
again,
in.
but no, I'm not a fan.
It's also Bound Declare also has a weight pull over over Right You Are. So look, I just went with Right You Are only because I can't trust Bound Declare. It's not one of mine. I know that it's a chance, but it's just not one of mine. So I'm
interested
prepared
to see how the WA horse goes too in the 4. It's right in the market. And,
well, it's beaten.
Of course, biggest test.
It beat Steinem, I think, last few starts. So absolutely, but I think it needs to get on the pace, doesn't it? It likes to lead, if I'm right. So I don't know if that's going to suit, but you can't put them all in. So whilst Tone says I'm being selfish, I reckon I could have gone probably 6 or 7 in this leg, to be honest, and still potentially missed. So
talking about potentially miss, unfortunately, Pezz has got the Newmarket this week, but I think I'm a half a chance because we do have horses that are basically have the audacity to show us form. So if anyone didn't see, I Wish I Wins over the Lightning over the 1,000 metres, like holy shit! And then Marto, I think Peter Moody's taking calls about Hong Kong.
Yep, he is actually.
So
considering them.
Yep. Honestly, if I was going to go one out, you'd think I Wish I Win. Doesn't matter where they're drawn, Tone, because it's down the straight. It's drawn pretty like it can go either side. But of course, it's going to step back, get cover, take its medicine, and then it unleash hell. But great race, 15 in secret. I think, Taz, it's an amazing stat that 8 out of the last 20 have been 3-year-olds. So it's only 50% over the last 12 years. The 3-year-olds tend to win. So I'm a bit scared about the 16, leaving it out with Benny Thompson, Group 1 Benny. One from one in the last week. It was a good run in the Lightning as well. Probably needs longer, as we all know, Marto, but this is over the 1,200 metre, made famous, of course, by our favourite girl in Black Caviar. I think she won 4 of them. So absolutely, I don't think I've left out a couple of ghosts in Tassie's Lofty Strike, China Lightning. I'm throwing front page in for Marto. We don't mind the horse and its Sydney form, and of course it's first up, so you never know what it's going to do. And we're looking for a bit of value, and so at 1, 3, 11 and 15, Newmarket, huge race.
Pezz, I think that you've just gone what you think will win and just, I don't know, grab 3 from the bloody stars, because I'm really surprised. Lofty Strike, you talked it up. Chain of Lightning, you previously talked it up, and you haven't included. So I know I wish I win. You could probably go out one. You'll probably have your own quaddie and just have it one out in a few of them, because I know how much you love it.
Yeah,
but
I do.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. That's all.
I think it's a good. Of course, it's a Newmarket, so you're going to have the best sprinters sort of going around, and it's great.
Good race.
Yeah, it's great.
Really good race.
The Newmarket's huge, because it's always a massive field, and
they
can come from anywhere, and
Tone's favourite horse, Bella Nipotina.
Yes, September run. Marto's favourite horse.
Any second favourite horse up the top? Your second favourite horse, Private Eye?
Yeah.
Private Eye.
Watching you.
Jeez.
Bit of Hall and Oaks. I've actually got the Scalapini Private Eye double already on.
All right. I see. I have I Wish I Win as my last leg in a multi that's going to finish up this Saturday. So I'm really hoping I Wish I Win wins the Newmarket.
Good luck. Now, Tommy,
how many legs in the multi, Marto? Just out of curiosity.
It's been running over 2 weeks, and there are 9 legs.
9 legs. I remember when you used to put those up. You used to put 8 leg ups, and we get $3.25. So you got a big price this one.
Come on,
you used to.
Yes,
you used to.
If this one wins, I'm going on holidays.
Shots fired.
Tone knows. Am I wrong, Tone?
What booby?
Yes,
good luck. I hope it wins for you. In all fairness, I hope it wins for you. He's gone.
Skater boy, Tommy Averill, Levine, Tommy Hanlon. He's gone 1, 8, 10 and 12. And the big news is he's left out Ayrton, the $3 favourite. Ayrton's actually supposedly come back and look at $1 million. I saw a photo. It was like Tone when he was back when he was 22 years old, glistening, dappled. It was looks pretty good.
10 and 12. Geez, it's a good. He's done well here.
Yeah, so he's got Scalapini. As I said, I've already got the private eye Scalapini little double going. He's got Visionari at a price. Riddle Me That at a massive price. Great to see. And, of course, the 12 in Savannah Club, who knew what she could have been.
He's left out the pharmacist as well.
Yeah, right.
Down the bottom, he's left out the pharmacist.
Yeah. So,
gee whiz.
Gee, that's a good rate. Marto, thoughts?
Myself, I like Scalapini here as well.
Okay.
I would consider adding life lessons. Linda Meacham for Peter Moody.
Yeah.
And Flemington is very, very interesting addition to this field.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good race. You'd think if Ayrton's come back in any form, it'll just brain a lot of these, but you don't know if they've come back.
No, I'm not sold on Ayrton yet. I'm not sold on him. You know, it was a disappointing.
I don't think Flemington's its track either. I think Caulfield suits Ayrton a lot better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Why not? Why not Worsfold a chance? I mean, there are excuses for its
I think it's too young. I think it's just learning. It's it's really lightly raced. I don't think it's got it's going up against a horse like Scalapini that's been 50 odd starts. So I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. Yeah.
And there's one you've got there, Pezza, black booked.
Yeah, well,
one of your
that's
own.
why Pezz's push and I gave it its worst race of its life. Tone, very quickly, mate. We've got under a minute to go. 8, 10, 11 and 12.
He's not there.
Yep. No, I'm here.
Oh, you're back. Sorry.
Lethal Thoughts. What have I gone with? Yeah, I've gone wide here. Lethal. You want to say Lethal Thoughts? Blake Max. Is It Me's the favourite? Jamie Carr first up. Yeah, there you go. And Zupuring, one of those Z horses that Barney's old man likes to.
Bennett Racing, mate. Bennett Racing, Croft. There we go. Good luck. It was really good last week.
Yep.
But it's in a it's a really good race. It's a massive jump.
I don't mind Meridius here, and Lloyd Kennewell is an absolute crook, so he could steal this as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it me? Previous wheel winner.
Yeah.
No, I try to put it
out. We just missed that little zinger. Anyway, Tone, you got the quaddie last leg. You're the king of the wanker. You are very good at it, and you usually, you're very good.
You are, Tone.
Here we go.
So anyway, 8, 10, 11 and 12. Zupuring's coming off a Wednesday win last week where the Prez tipped us into 2 of the Bennett races. Marto, quick thoughts?
Is It Me only has Adelaide form to go on. It's progressive 3-year-old, but is it good enough in this field? I don't know. I do like Zupuring in this, though.
I'm very interested to see how Climbing Star runs.
I'm very interested to see how it jumps before it runs.
Yeah,
I think that's the key there. I think also the smoking the races up the top. Zoe.
Zoe's promise. Yeah, not a bad one.
Anyway, we're going to get to Tone because he's got to go. He's under the pump.
Yes. Yes.
Now, Tone, you found a little bit of value, Tas-like.
Yes, I have. One of the toughest races up there in Marto Town, up there in Sydney. Now, this could be a claim the crown sort of system here.
Paint the picture, Tone.
My original tip was Revolutionary Miss at around about 10 skins, but it's been scratched. My second tip, which is now number 1, is Daytona, and Marto's been on this before. I like Brett Preble on it because, he can pop up in these big races. You always have a go. He could be a knockout in this at 35 skins. Of course, the favourite, Zoo, whatever it is very, very good. But I just can't see $1.70 or something, isn't it? I think it's really short.
$1.75 as you gotcha.
It's coming to $1.50 now, to be honest.
Wow. So they'll be all having a go. I just think that it's had the last couple, not apart from last start, the start before, it was a pretty good third. And I think that they're setting it up for a race like this where the money is because it's, massive prize money. And I just think it's going to have a real go up there at Rose Hill.
Well, I can guarantee you your price is going to short because Cold Die is going to scratch from this race. So you might get 20 to 1 on the day.
Marto, I think there's about 5 or 6 double nommed in this.
Yeah, there is 7.
There's quite a few. I think there's 4 or 5, and I think the speed in the races is actually double nommed as well. So they're a bit worried about where it goes. So anyway,
Gotcha is one of those dual acceptors. So you want that one coming out. Because if Zugotcha runs here, he brains him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is the motor of the field. There's no doubt about it.
All right.
But if it gets into
Race
trouble,
6
it's the X factor or something, or gets caught, you know.
Yeah, I like the odds about this one, Tony. Good luck to you, mate.
Yes.
You know what they say, Tone? A bit like you last night, mate. Rubbin's racing.
Once, you know, Tone,
right.
something that I've noticed that Marto says quite a lot about your tips. He never says he likes your horses. He just says, I like the odds. I like those odds. I like those odds. I like that. It's less, isn't it, Marto? Of course,
you have to go. Is that right? You have to go.
Yeah.
All right, see you, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Tone.
I'll let
See you,
you
mate.
scumbag stick the knife in.
No.
Tone.
Don't worry. Get on. There's the
Just
prize.
sharpening it.
Collect your money.
We're sharpening it as we speak. See you, mate.
We'll never. There we go. All right, has he gone yet, Pezza? Has he gone?
I think he's just left
Has he
blank
gone?
space.
You know why?
I don't want to. Maybe we should remove him because we don't want to listen to what's going on. Or...
No, why? It's the same thing. What are you talking about? Whether he's there or not? It's perfect. We're getting the same information.
What do you reckon?
Is that knife number 1?
Shit.
Bang, it didn't take long, did it? 30 seconds. Bang, straight in. Sorry, Tone. Are you all right, Tone?
I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah. Tone, stop watching the show. We're talking to you.
Anyway.
Knife number 2.
Jesus.
You're still laughing, aren't you?
What?
You know how much trouble I'm going to be in now, don't
mate. As I said,
He's
he's the most offended man in the world. He's
but we do love him.
Atrociously offensive, but easily offended.
And we still do love him.
We
irrespective of how much we might take the piss and stuff. And we offend him because he is very much offended.
Yes.
We do love him. But Daytona, seriously. Wow. Marto, speak the truth now. Tell us why you only love the odds.
Well, like I said, it was a nice way of saying good luck, mate, because I can't see it winning. I mean, if Zugotcha runs,
I can't see it running first 5.
Cold Die was another one that I had listed well above Daytona. But with those two out, if Zugotcha does go to Melbourne, then you've got Glint of Silver and Brosnan in there.
Talking about how Tone claimed the crown type style he's going this week. Remember we were talking about a race before the show in Sydney? I think we were talking about a mare's race.
Oh, yeah, down the end, the last race of the day or whatever it was.
I think we were talking about the Colmoore.
Yeah, that's it.
And then remember you guys said, I like this horse, I like this horse.
I like Mustang Valley. I like Mustang Valley in that
there
race.
You go, Mustang Valley.
Yeah.
And then Marto was pretty keen on one.
Yep. You've gone there, haven't you, Pezza?
No, Marto's pretty keen on one, wasn't he? He was keen.
No, he was talking about that Torgerine or whatever it was called.
I like
No, it was Torgerine or whatever it's called. That Tangerine, Torgerine.
Torgerine, I like Espiona. Sandown, and Espiona ran it down. But Torgerine will be better second up. But I actually like Hinged in the Colmoore.
Hinged, there we go. Ooh. So remember we're talking about that, and I was like, man, the boys know this race. They've had a look.
Have you got your pick there?
Pezza's push, here we go. We're going to Sydney. We've had enough of Melbourne. Rose Hill, race 8, number 9, Ruthless Dame. Now, unfortunately, last start, she had one of my favourite jocks in Tyler Schiller. Now, I'm not sure what's happening to Tyler, but he's been given the arse for another apprentice in Dylan Gibbons. So I'm a bit surprised that Tyler got the arse when he was beating a lip, but he did give it a bit of a shocker. He had a wide the trip. She never got cover. she had the audacity, Marto, to run on and then
That word again.
find in the last 50 to be bloused by Paris in the Sky, whatever it was called.
Yeah, Paris in the Sky.
And what was the blue battler, Marto? It missed our placing.
In Secret.
In Secret was the $2.15 favourite. So, yeah, I just thought it ran the fastest 400 and the fastest 200 of the day, which I sort of love. I always follow. And then it just wasn't given any chance really to win.
Is it up to this class though, Pezza? Does it have the class?
Well,
or do you think it stamps itself?
I think it ran out of its skin. I thought it probably peaked 3 starts ago in Melbourne at Sandown. But they obviously, you said they got an opinion and they're like, well, let's go chase the Colmoore. Like, it was so bloody stiff last week. Like,
it was. Backing up's going to be tough.
Yeah. So I just reckon they've taken it for last week. She was beaten in lip. Like, it was a flared nostril.
Yeah, definitely.
And she was going to win. Like, to the naked eye, you thought she'd probably got it. But I just think I love horses that just don't give up. And even if they don't get everything their right way, they still have that will to get there. And she did it last week. Who knows? Is she going to be burnt this week? I don't know. Is she, I don't know.
So are you back? I'm going to ask you something. Are you backing it this time through assessment or through hip pocket?
No, assessment.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good way to be.
Yeah. I wasn't on a last start. I wasn't on a last week. I was on Paris.
Yeah.
So I felt very blessed that she got the photo because it could have went to 3 or 4 of them. But I just think with her run, they've given Tyler the arse. I'm not sure if he's riding Saturday. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's listed to ride on Expat in that race.
There we go. Thanks, mate. So I just wonder, Expat's going to be the leader. There's going to be pace in the race automatically because Expat just goes straight to the fucking front. Yeah. Rose Hill always plays a bit funny. You never know. Might be a bit of bias there with the leader. Who knows?
But Expat prefers the ground wet too, though.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to find that this weekend.
I just think if she gets a bit of cover, gets her out at the right time, all he's got to do is give her air and let her go. You got to give her. She's got to have a bit of air. So
she's going to have her chances, isn't she? And it's very interesting that he's thrown Dylan Givens on without a claim. I don't know if apprentices can't claim. There's 3 apprentices in this race, and none of them are claiming though. So maybe they just can't claim.
Maybe they can't claim. Yeah.
Pezza, I did like something in the race, and we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
For pretty much the similar reasons, I guess, in some way, that it didn't see any daylight. But the way you're talking this up, and for most people that know me, I like boxing 5 and a trifecta. Let me say that I will definitely be doing that in this race, and 2 of my selections are going to be Mustang Valley and this Ruthless Day.
Yeah,
now, the other 3, I'll find them. But at this point in time, only, and I mean, and I talk shit at times, but when I'm serious, I'm serious, and I think that you've convinced me to include it.
Like Marto, like she ran the fastest 400 and the fastest 200 of the day, and with the run that she had, she couldn't run the fastest 400 and the fastest 200 of the day because
ridiculous.
She was hanging out the whole way, and she just never got a break. So I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, she like the pimple, she wins. So you can't really blame Tyler, but you can. So I reckon if she just gets a couple of little, she goes up another 200 metres, another 100 metres, I think, this week. So it's perfect. She maybe gets a little bit of cover this time. Then he peels her out and lets her go, and hopefully she runs home the fastest 400 and 200 of the day again. Be nice.
Does she need? So she needs speed in a race, obviously.
Yes. So Expat,
that brings
automatically
that.
adds it. So.
And what barriers is she drawn? Hang on, what's she drawn?
She's drawn sticky in 10.
10.
But
I guess that gives her a clear way, though, doesn't it?
I think she's going to be ridden not like
she doesn't
on the
go
pace.
Forward. She sits back from the speed around, usually around midfield.
Yeah.
So she could be 3-4 back on the outside.
Tyler just never got her in.
Run.
He just never got her in, and she jumped probably a little bit too well, and then, oh Jesus Christ, it was a tough. If you were on Ruthless Dame last start, it was a tough watch that last bit because you honestly thought she'd won it, and but Paris just popped up the middle on the inside. Yeah, the amazing finish because there were 5 across the track, and in secret's a length and a half back. Pretty amazing. So anyway, huge dividends this week. Big chance. With Daytona, the multis are just out the window. So it's incredible. Did you do a multi with Daytona and then a multi without it as well? A bit like our Wengo Award last week, mate, boys. That's it. Sorry,
Tony. By 4.5, that's 21. That's 24.5. 24.5 by 7.5. There's your multi. Leave out Daytona.
But we can always dream, mate. We can always dream.
We can. As long as if it's going around, it can win.
That's right. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, boys, it's great to see the footy is kicking off in the NRL. Marto's collected again, and it's good to see that the AFL kicks off next week, Marto.
Next week, the game they play in heaven, AFL. Unfortunately, we get our hearts ripped out with a game versus Richmond versus Carlton.
But hang on, Marto.
No.
Guess what? No. I've got something for Pezza. And I haven't had an opportunity to share this. Last week, Pezza was getting stuck into me. How Carlton, kept losing. Well, firstly, last year we beat the Tigers.
How can you lose? You've got Ed Kerner. Hang on. He's great.
Please, my spy. So last year we did beat them first round. But an interesting statistic as to why North Melbourne don't get round one. Now, Marto, I remember you telling me about the Melbourne Storm, how they've won, 20 of the last whatever it is? 21. Is that right?
21 now.
Well, they've never lost under Bellamy.
Well, guess what? North Melbourne have won 1 out of 14.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even against Carlton there.
Well, it's a 50-50 game. You either win or lose.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. So you were bagging Carlton for so long. But for 14
you're one of those
years,
Muppets. You're one of those Muppets. You go to the casino and there's like 6 blacks and then you start back in red. Mate,
I always follow the run.
Flip of a coin.
I always follow the run. That's why North Melbourne will also lose round 1 again this year, be it against West Coast.
I was watching the YouTube channel Inner North today, and it was pretty embarrassing because Clarko's chair fell apart, and it looked new. Anyway, as long as I'm not barracking for St Kilda, I don't mind really anything that's going on. I feel sorry for St Kilda supporters. My mate Tangles Keller. I don't know how you do it every year. Fair income.
They do it on Prozac. They do it on Prozac. What are you talking about?
How seriously could you be a member of St Kilda? Fucking hell, like Jesus.
Well, Pezza, I literally live within walking distance of Rabbit of Linton Street. And I remember as a kid growing up, I used to have one of those big blue plastic like Moomba trumpets that you used to take. And when I was a young kid, at half time they used to open up the gates. Yeah. So of course I didn't have money. Yeah. So of course at half time the gates would go open and we'd go into to the footy and stuff. And I used to take this trumpet and I used to love St Kilda losing. Yeah. There was nothing better for me. Yeah. It's not about Carlton winning. It's about St Kilda losing.
It was a bit like me growing up in Geelong, going to Canidia Park and just barracking for the other team every week.
Yeah, it didn't matter who. I mean, I was there for the last game, Fitzroy St Kilda, and everyone's taken turf and all that sort of stuff.
Remember those badges? Remember those badges you used to buy? Like I barracked for the other team, except
Did you have a duffer coat as well?
I had a duffer coat.
Yeah, we all love those. I'd love to see people getting back into their duffer coats.
Duffel coats, yeah.
Yeah, they were amazing. Absolutely. The big black, and then they have all the badges,
all the players,
streamers, and everything.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like Marto's found another couple of academy kids that look pretty good. Geez, Errol Gruden last week, what did he have? 45 and just over half 40.
Unbelievable. 44 possessions in a preseason game. I think it's going to be his breakout year this year.
But he played 60% of the game too. He had 45 and kicked 3.
Yeah, that's right. And he hasn't played a full game.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then you got the really good player. What's his name? Chatty Warner. He's a gun.
Yeah, Chad Warner. Yeah. We thought he was going to do big things last year, but he got well held. Kind of finding his feet a little bit. He's going to have another breakout year this year. He's got to have another Callum Mills type player. Start in the back, and he'll end up in the midfield.
Callum, he's been a bit injured this preseason, so hopefully he comes back and he's ready for round one. But it's great to see Clarko back, and it's great to see Caroline Wilson ride another hate piece against North Melbourne.
She does, yeah.
Fair
That's all right, though.
But anyway,
she doesn't like him, does she?
Oh, I hate this. Anyway, it was great to see Clarko today. He was on this inner north thing, and he was saying about how Ben Cunnington, because you know how the rotations are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And back in the 70s, you'd be on the interchange best, and you'd come on and, you'd be resting in a forward pocket. So Clarko is so good to listen to because he's like, it's going to be great to see Cunnington resting in a forward pocket. He doesn't have to come off because he's our best player by the length of the Flemington straight, But it's so interesting now, like with the rotations, cut again. It's going to be interesting to see that hopefully these stars do spend a bit more time on the ground.
But that's what they used to do many, many years ago, didn't they? Like,
that's what you're saying.
But even
you wouldn't get on the ground.
Like you wouldn't get on. Yeah, you wouldn't get on until like the third or fourth quarter in some
That's
cases.
right. Yeah.
Unless someone went down injured. I used to play ruck, and I'd go forward to rest in the forward pocket.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go off.
Course.
You got sat on the bench, you're rejected.
Yeah.
But Marto, how tall are you?
Me, I'm 6'1", so I was a short ruck, but I had a pretty good leap on me.
No, that's all right. I didn't think that you were tall enough to be, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Big.
No, I was
a mobile ruckman.
I had a good leap on me. I was jumping over 7-footers.
So we welcome Tommy Hanlon to the familiar. Good on you, Avril. Skater boy, loves the surf, loves the skate, works
and
on
some mail.
He's got some
mail for us.
He's got some young kids too, Marto. He's got a beautiful little girl and boy, and they're like two under three. Can you remember those days? Jesus Christ. He's under the pump.
Ooh.
So thanks, Tommy, for taking the time, and looking forward for your Adelaide Mail on one booby, two boobies. Lake
Titicaca.
Titicaca. What a great name.
It's a great name, all right.
Boys, why is divorce so expensive? Because it's bloody worth it.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say.
Did you tell me the joke the other day? Who was it? Who
Which
told
one?
me the joke? Taz, about the divorce.
I'm not sure. It might. I don't know. Tell it.
No. Anyway, I heard a joke the other day. It was pretty rank, actually. He was like, it was all these, all these wives went on a bus trip. And unfortunately, the bus went over a cliff and they all died, like 35 of them. And at the funeral, all the husbands are distraught. They're crying, their wives die, blah, blah, blah. But there was one husband that just didn't stop crying. They go to the wake. He didn't stop crying. And then someone eventually went up and said, "Are you all right, mate?" He goes, "Yeah." And they go, "What's the matter? You miss your wife?" He goes, "No, she missed the bus."
Oh, that's funny. That's very good.
Good one.
Oh,
yes.
He didn't know. He wasn't on the bus going over the cliff.
That's like the old wife.
I heard that. A singer.
None of us are in that sort of situation. No.
No, never.
Now, hey, now that before we wrap it up, what do you reckon Tone's cooking for dinner?
Oh, mate,
because it is about Tone, so let's keep it just to finish on a Tone.
Does he know how to boil water?
Yeah, no, he's an ex line cook at the somewhere. No, he can't.
So is he? So what's he done? He's chopped up all the vegetables. Is he
I
gone with?
I think it'd be like a seafood cocktail type scenario. It's like it'd be a very sort of vintage menu.
Right. So are you saying fish fingers?
Oh, he'd love a fish finger.
Eh?
I reckon what it is. I reckon what it is. It's like it might be a bit of fried fish, like a fish finger, but we don't get them over here. But we sort of get them. And remember the old three, the frozen peas, carrot, and corn.
Yeah, the packs. Yep.
I reckon he's got the three, the corn, the peas, and the carrot boiled up, and then the deep fried fish, and then he might have thrown in a couple of spuds, and then they'll be wanting rice.
Would it be like? Do you think he'll do a mash or just spuds?
No, he's too lazy to do a mash.
Make a bubble and
no.
Yeah, that's right. He'd be too lazy to do a mash.
Oh,
It'll be just boiled spuds.
And what will they be washing it down with? Do you think a glass of maybe, I don't know, Sab or something? Or
A glass of
maybe,
a Chardonnay.
what do you think? Will they have
Chardonnay.
something like that? Or
I
what
reckon
do you
it's
think?
a cheeky Chianti.
Do you think so? It's not a Sputley's Lexia or something like that, hey? Or Passion Pop.
Did you see?
Pop.
Did you see his face change when they come home? Though you see his face change.
Oh. Yeah, but that's sheer excitement, not fear.
God. Anyway, it was
happy.
great to catch up.
The poor bloke's probably choking on his meal now.
Yeah. Great to see him last night. It was good to see him. He was holding court, and it was quite a funny night. It was pretty good. Anyway, Marto, Tassie, welcome and thanks. And Tommy, familiar.
Yes,
thanks,
let's
everyone.
go. Well done.
Let's go.
Cheltenham Carnival next week.
Absolutely.
And,
thanks, guys.
Remember, as the show says, put a line through it. And we'll see you next week. Peace. See you guys.
Thank you.